The world's largest cave. It has a forest, a river, and clouds inside. Reaction
the
Desu.
largest cave on our planet. This cave is so massive that it has a completely self-sustaining ecosystem with its own climate
Jeez.
conditions. Hundreds of
People
meters
camp in
underground,
there.
the clouds you're used to seeing in the sky form inside this cave. Sangdong even has an untouched
So it's like one of those small ecosystems people make in like jars and tanks, but humans. So instead of you putting bugs in the little ecosystem or ecosystem you make in those fish tanks, you are those little bugs. Whoa.
prehistoric rainforest hidden far below the surface, and a vast underground river. From transparent fish to colorful monkeys,
That's
over
so
250
lit.
endemic plant and animal species live in this underground world. 7 new animal species were recently discovered here and are unique to this place. Stretching 9 kilometers in length, this
9
cave holds
kilometers.
38.5 million cubic meters of space, and it's
Dude,
half
it's like a fucking...
is so enormous that a 40-story skyscraper could fit inside, and its giant
Oh my
stalagmites are
goodness.
rising like towers of ancient
Dude,
cities.
you know how many millions of years those stalactites and stalagmites fucking take to make? Water drips, well, you probably already know. Water drips down, and I forgot the whole process, but basically, the water dripping down makes a stalactite. That shit takes millions of years to make that. Look how big that shit
Inside.
is.
Look how massive that is.
towers
Whoa.
of ancient cities. Walking inside, it's impossible not to feel as small as a tiny bug. Can a rock
I literally just said
move
that.
on its
I
own?
literally just said,
Sangdong
instead
even
of the
contains
bugs that you put in
phytokarst
your
rocks.
own mini ecosystem, you are the bugs in
Which
this
move
shit.
towards the
Whoa.
sun like semi-living organisms. Rare cave pearls and many other unique formations are also found here. For 3 million years since its formation, the world had no idea about this cave's existence until it was fully explored in 2009 in
Fully?
Vietnam. Now,
Do you know it's fully
time for you
explored,
to
or is
see
it
the
like
largest
some
cave
undiscovered
on Earth.
tingus?
Individual access is forbidden to protect both visitors and the fragile
'Cause they don't
environment.
want,
This
yeah,
expedition
people to
is
die.
operated by Oxalis, the only authorized agency. To reach Sangdong, we've trekked through the jungle for 9 hours. And now, we
Bro,
must pass
that's
through
like
End Cave.
Jurassic Park, bro. Or like, well, I forgot. There's like another movie that this reminds me of. That's
The
insane.
world's third largest cave. This cave serves as a gateway to the world's largest cave.
Like you would have,
It's
that shit's
crucial-
hidden in plain sight. You would have never known that that entrance opens up into a massive maze that stretches 9 kilometers and has its own ecosystem.
Be
Oh
fully
my
prepared
god.
for every possibility.
Ooh,
so
leeches,
before
nice.
setting out on this journey, we did deep online research about Sangdong and its surrounding
Oh,
area
no.
to learn about everything that we would need to know. Now, we're heading towards the beach inside the cave. Over the centuries,
That's not a
water
beach.
from nearby rivers gradually carved this place. The ceiling is 145 meters high, and the cave is 200 meters wide.
During the flooding season,
Damn.
much of this empty space is submerged underwater. You can understand from the basket over there, the water levels rise so much that it can carry objects up to that level.
With the breathtaking lake in front of us, it was impossible not
I
to
wonder
take a
how
quick
much it
dip.
costs to
At
like
dusk,
to
the
come
sound
to
of
this and
swift
explore
birds
and camp.
echoes in the cave. Because of their short and weak legs, these birds can't take off from the ground and must jump from a high place to fly.
Are they
If
stuck
they are
down?
trapped on
no.
the ground, it means death is certain for these birds.
This one was unlucky and waited to die.
Why
At
did
sunrise,
you pick it up?
we're ready for the journey to Sangdong.
fuck?
If we call this cave a neighborhood, then Sangdong is a massive city in comparison.
Jeez, please
We will
keep this
move
shit
to the darkness
untouched
now.
so it looks
I can't help but
cool
wonder what
forever.
awaits us in Sangdong. As we walk, dozens of crickets
Yo,
on the
wow.
ground
Well,
start
no, it's just
jumping from
crickets.
side to side.
Nah, it's just crickets.
The ground is covered with centuries of bat guano. Above us,
Bat shit?
countless bats hang in deep sleep.
Oh,
but
word?
some are awake and
Imagine you're sleeping, you wake up, you open your tent, and then a bat shits on your forehead. I would be livid because I'm half awake at that point, and then I just have bat shit plop on my face. Oh, hell no. I'm wearing a hat and the helmet at all times.
constantly
I do not want
defecating
bat
on
shit
us.
on my...
So it's not a good idea
Literally
to
just-
look up.
Oh my, hell no.
How my arm looks.
we pass by formations that look like travertine. The limestone steps take us to the path that
Why is he wearing trainers, sneakers? Those are running shoes. I forgot exactly what the brand's called. It's a Swiss brand. Those are for running and lifestyle. I would not be wearing anything but hiking boots or hiking shoes at the very least. What? Like, that is a bad idea. And then he had a leech protruding out of his leg? Dude, get boots.
leads to Son.
The investment is worth it. Especially for doing stuff like this. You need those kind of boots, bruh.
The view here is amazing.
Maybe
You
not
can
even
see
that
some
tall, just
water coming
mid,
down
at
from
least
both
mid.
sides.
Cave welcomed us for a
mid-length.
night deep in the jungle. Now,
Hiking-
it's time to meet
mid-hiking
Sundong
boots.
Cave.
It's trying to come to me, you know? It's
Yee.
moving towards me.
Fucking
No,
creepy
I have to
crawlies.
leech on. Oh, it got too big.
He's sucking your blood.
Beneath the soil we walk on lies the 450 million year old limestone formation, which began forming long
He's
before the
wearing
existence of humans.
regular shoes in this place, bro. No, that's your fault, bro.
Or even dinosaurs. This calcium-rich limestone is composed of shells and skeletons of ancient sea animals that sank to the ocean floor and gradually compressed over millions of years. However, since calcium dissolves easily in acid, acid rain slowly erodes limestone and forms caves over time. This is how the world's largest cave was formed, by rain dissolving limestone.
Word!
A challenging final climb brings us down to the grand entrance of Sundong. As we move deeper, everyone's switching on their headlamps now. This path will lead us to the Hope and Vision Passage. In this 9-kilometer-long cave, there is so
Jeez.
much to explore. We might be the first to record newly discovered animals.
This is the entrance of Sundong Cave. You can see those people look tiny at the entrance.
Even just a few steps in, we're surrounded by incredible cave formations. The water, rich
That
in
is so
minerals, flows
lit.
down from the ceilings or walls.
That's so
and
cool.
builds these beautiful
I wanna
rimstone
go
pools
there.
over time.
The very first animal greeting us is a cricket.
What's up, motherfucker?
We are making our way through the rocks.
Some stalagmites are sparkling in pure white
Okay, it's called
because of the
okay.
mineral type they're composed of.
It looks like a diamond.
Glissing.
It does.
There's a
Awesome.
huge stalactite in bronze color, resembling frozen waterfalls. The orange-brown hue suggests the presence of iron or other minerals mixed
Like, that kind of shit doesn't even look real. If you're there in person, you wouldn't even be able to believe what you see.
within the limestone.
Jeez.
Some stalactites have actually broken off from the ceiling and fell down to the ground.
That one in the middle is a fault line. It was formed because of tectonic movements of the Earth.
Sundong's enormous size is not just the result of water erosion, but also the fractures caused by tectonic movements, which created pathways for water to flow deeper.
There's a huge river in this part of the cave. If you fall, you can't swim. It's so fast.
Heavy rains feed
Oh, no,
many
yeah, I
rivers
would
here,
definitely
and
just
a
go
large
swim
and
in that.
fast river now flows through the
100%.
cave.
How did this come to life? We are like hundreds of meters inside the cave. There is no sunlight.
Heavy floods can bring soil and plant stems into the cave. That's why we see a sprouted seed here.
Unfortunately, without sunlight, they won't survive for long. The flood also brought spores in, so now there are mushrooms
my
growing
gosh.
here. The moisture and darkness are perfect for them.
Just yesterday, the water reached up to here.
Crazy. If you didn't know, mushrooms can if you didn't see a mushroom in your backyard one day, but you see it the next day, that it literally grew within the night. Mushrooms grow that fast, where they literally will grow overnight.
Carried a lot of mud with it.
Insane.
It's so recent.
I
as if
find
the
that
fault
insane. I
just
find that
happened
cool.
Here. Signs of the incident are still visible. We reached the Hope and Vision Passage. This is the largest part of the cave. I'm standing next to
That's
the
so
top
cool.
stalagmite in the world.
Whoa!
It is 80 meters high.
It took an average of 800,000 years for these minerals to
Jeez.
accumulate on the ground as water dripped from the ceiling and formed this massive stalagmite.
Told you
the reason
stalagmites
it got
are
so
growing like
huge
that.
is because it grew in a part of the cave where the ceiling is over 170 meters high and more than 130 meters wide. So this part of the cave is as large as a 40-story skyscraper could fit.
Bro, how
And
much you
even
want
a
to bet you
double
like inhale some of those bugs that are flying around on the screen? How
that
much you
your
want to bet?
aircraft could fly through.
You can see the light coming from the first dolin.
Oh, I
very
see
far
the
ahead.
light.
That's where we are heading.
Oh, those are the clouds you was
Spot
talking about.
cloudy-like white catches on the ground.
What is this?
A spider web.
When they sense vibrations because of a trapped insect, the spider jumps out, bites the prey, and returns to the funnel to eat. These are sand towers. When water drips from above, the parts under the pebbles are protected while their surroundings erode, and in the end, it forms these towers. It looks like a small
Step on it.
metropolis.
If you
Step on
carefully
it.
look at it, there's a
That
guy
would be
standing
hella
on
satisfying.
the top of that rock.
Our teammate in the far distance is now standing on a stalagmite of 60 meters in length. We move 3
Jeez.
kilometers forward in the cave.
They're so big
This
you
is
can walk on them. They're so big you can walk on these stalagmites. Oh my
Camping
god.
site. Imagine sleeping here, looking at this view.
This is. I would love to fucking wake up to this. Oh my goodness. Goodness me, oh my. That looks so
Here,
cool.
you can partially see the first dew line. It might look like the cave's exit, but it's actually the first of 2 massive dew lines. And from here on, things will get more incredible. The temperature difference between the outside and the inside of the cave forms mist and clouds inside the cave. The area beyond them is called Watch
That
Out for
is
Dinosaurs.
so
We will explore that place
fucking
tomorrow. For now,
cool.
it's time to rest.
Now we are going to first Dolin. This is the next day. There will be a lot of things that we will see today. Let's go.
You
We
just
are
walk
crawling
and then
through
fucking
narrow-
see like a Tyrannosaurus Rex skull at your feet. Bro. This is Jurassic Park.
Passages to get to the first dew line.
Very narrow point.
These sticky threads are traps belonging to cave worms. They produce a blue-green light from their tail to attract flying insects to these sticky threads. Once an insect gets stuck, the larva pulls up the thread
That looks like one of those, you know, those when you were a kid. I don't know if any of y'all did this when you were a kid, but you like drip down your saliva and then slurp it back up. That looks like one of those things.
with its mouth
Ugh.
and eats its prey.
This limestone is the oldest limestone in Southeast Asia. It is more than 400 million years old.
While
I
some sea creatures
definitely
become
would
part
want
of
a
limestone, others mineralized
that.
and ended up as fossils,
But I would never
like
take
you see
it.
in this example. We'll get into the
Keep everything preserved.
details of this fossil later. We're almost there.
Sorry I'm pausing a lot. I like to yap. Deal with it.
Well, it takes for water droplets to reach the ground for like 20 seconds from up there. What is
It's
the
like
height
rain.
of this wall?
It's around 140 meters.
Everything is huge here.
That
When you
AI
look up,
voice is
you
fucking
can see
pissing
the
me
trees
off.
of the rainforest surrounding
I'd rather hear the like his voice and then just subtitles, or like a more humanized AI voice.
the opening. But right now,
That is
we are
obviously
meters below
robotic.
and still inside the cave.
Obviously.
The reason why this hole exists is that hundreds of thousands of years ago, the river flowing inside Songdong eroded the limestone and weakened the roof. The roof couldn't hold up and collapsed, creating this giant hole above. So the light
that's
gave
so
life to these
lit.
algae and mosses.
In the afternoon, we'll go to Dolin number 2. It's very different. You'll see a real jungle there.
But first, let's see the first of
When
the
you
last
think of
two
a
incredible
rainforest, you think of that right there.
formations here.
Those
This is also a
those
stalagmite, but it's a different one.
It owes its unique layered shape to the waterfalls. These are phytokarst formations. They are rare limestone formations shaped by the growth of algae, mosses,
Dude.
and microorganisms together
That
with
is
calcium
so
carbonate.
aesthetic and
Since
cool.
both biological and
Holy
geological
mother.
processes shape them, they're like partly a living and partly non-living. Here you can see the phytokarst formations moving toward the sun like a hand extending from the cave.
Oh my
Climbing 1
gosh.
kilometer down and up in the dark, we finally reached our next destination.
This is the second Dolin.
Okay,
Much
that shit is that is that is cool. That's
bigger than
cool.
the first one. This looks amazing.
Yes, it
All of a
does.
sudden,
Yes,
we are in a
it does.
forest in a cave.
Wow.
Look here, there's so
Wow.
The roof of the cave at this point collapsed as a result of the intersection of 2 main faults, forming a dew line on the surface
And you can
252
see the-
meters above where we are. The collapsed cave roof allowed sunlight to enter, giving rise to an entirely new ecosystem. Despite extreme
Ecosystem.
conditions, plants and animals have managed to adapt and turn this place into a unique underground rainforest.
As we move
Dude,
forward towards the light, the height of
If
the
it looks like
plants
this
grow.
IRL or even better, dude. How much is it to actually go here? I wonder. It gotta be in the fucking tens of thousands.
Makes it perfect
It
to
gotta
form
be.
a rainforest.
A large portion of the soil here consists of bat guano. It is accumulated for millions of years and is highly fertile.
The soil here is deep and full of small holes. There is an insect in each hole, and the insects are making traps in these holes to catch animals.
This jungle is huge. The biologists have found more than 200 species of plants and almost 60 species of animals living in this area.
There are some monkeys on trees. This might be the only cave where monkeys live.
Most primates typically prefer trees as their habitat, and cave environments are not suitable for them. However, this extraordinary cave has become a new living space for certain species. We came across a centipede.
Okay, that
Snakes
shit
are
looks like
living
it
in
could
this
fucking
forest
kill
as
you,
well.
bro. Come on.
Sound of this
That
forest
shit was red.
is calming.
Colors mean fucking poisonous.
Even the explorers
Maybe
who
it
first
wasn't
came here in
poisonous.
2009 thought they'd found the exit for a moment.
Remember that we are in a cave.
Dude,
This cave
dude.
has its own reinforced.
That
All
is
of these
lit.
trees get thinner but taller.
Oh, this reminds me of dungeon anime. He's like the grandchild of Zeus, picking up girls in dungeon thingies. It reminds me of one of the episodes where they go to a part of the dungeon, and it's like literally this, dude. Oh, and it's muted. Great. Rewind.
Reinforced. All of these trees get thinner but taller to reach the sunlight coming from above. That's why all of them are very thin, but very tall compared to their width.
Certain
Yep,
trees reach
that's
heights
what
of 40
rainforests
to
do.
50 meters. It's because the trees prioritize height to maximize sunlight absorption.
This is the remains of a snail. Monkeys catch these snails and break them with stones, then
Slurp
eat
their
them.
shit.
As
Oh
we
my
move through the
God.
cave, we start coming across signs red-shinned dukes have left behind.
Look,
Why is it?
so many snails. Most of them are broken and probably eaten by a monkey.
We kind of forget we're in the cave because it's so massive.
This is where we are going to camp
Massive.
tonight.
It's our fourth and final day in the cave. Today, we navigate through a water-filled passage before reaching the Great Wall of Vietnam. The stalagmites here look fascinating, almost like the work of a sculptor.
Wall
A pool of water surrounds this column and fish are swimming in it. These fish have no eyes as they have adapted to live in this total darkness. Instead, their
Blind.
other senses got stronger over time.
See how it doesn't give any reaction to the shadow of my hand or the movement?
It doesn't see anything.
Completely blind.
Like the fish,
but it feels.
this cricket is completely blind. It doesn't see me.
So you can like step on them and they'll die.
These super rare
Kidding,
formations
don't
are
do
called
that.
cave pearls. They are usually 1 centimeter in diameter, but here, since they are too old, some of them are as big as a tennis ball.
Just like real pearls, they form around a tiny nucleus, such as a grain of sand, with layers of minerals slowly building up over time. They need a few hundred years to be fully formed. As we push further
That's so
into the
interesting.
cave, something unexpected catches our eye.
Oh, there's gonna be like the beetles or no? Oh
These
no,
are-
those are fucking
Are
fossils.
deer bones.
Woo!
They're
Oh.
estimated to be 500 years old.
Still.
There is one last challenge ahead. An
Deer
80-meter
bone?
high
They'll, like,
karst
fall
wall
down and
called
die?
the Great
What the
Wall
fu-
of Vietnam. To reach there, we must
Bro,
also
that
pass
is the coolest wall I've ever seen.
through a
Holy
600
mother.
meter long Passchendaele Passage. The passage is now filled with water and is turned into a breathtaking jade green lake.
Brother man, that, oh my god, I wanna go here. Come on!
It's so high that the light does not reach to very top.
After the wall, the light from the exit is visible from 500 meters away.
We have explored the world's largest cave from one end to the other, yet on the 4th day of the exploration, one mystery still remains. Which ancient creature the fossil we saw in Sondong belongs to? I'm opening Opera
Probably
browser
those,
and quickly
spiral
navigating to
ones.
the cave's website to check the related article. Here we'll find the same fossil's image and its description. I'm gonna press Command/ or Control/ to open Aria. It's a built-in AI tool.
Oh, here we go.
Let's ask- Okay.
Sponsor time.
It
Jesus.
identifies the fossil we saw as Tetracorolia. Let's check for more information on this sea creature.
Or just, like,
First,
research
I'm
it.
using the Tab Islands feature to effortlessly group tabs by topic and
Here it
segment
is.
tentacles to catch its prey and group up to 10 centimeters. Because it is extinct today, we don't know exactly what this animal looked like, but with Aria's image generation feature, we can create a possible visual for this animal. Here's an illustration of a living Tetracorolia drawn as a colony with tentacles. By the way, tab traces feature, as you can
I
see
wouldn't think
here,
something like that
help
would
us see all
fossilize. It
recent
has no
visited
bones.
tabs by darkening the underscore. The darker the underline, the more recently the
Brethren, yo, what's up?
tab
What is
was
up,
visited.
AG
Using
Baked?
Opera Smart
AG2
tools,
Baked.
I believe that we identified which creature this fossil belongs to. Opera also enhances workflow with a floating music player and customizable
This
theme
is like the most
comments.
passive.
Sandong.
Oh, that's the end of the video. That was the most passive, like, sponsor I've ever seen. Wow. What a video. What a video. WV'd. WV'd.